This trip was about a bunch of guys, a bunch of friends getting together. We've been planning going on a trip here a few years now with some friends. I live in California and I got good friends in Wyoming, Colorado, Washington, Oregon, and Utah. But we wanted it to be more than just a fishing trip for us guys. We wanted to find a way that we can bring awareness to the importance of giving back to the rivers that we fish. We thought if we can find a way to give back and start this new thing called Fish2Give. The whole idea was to go and get sponsors. For every fish that we catch, we get either $1, $5, or $10 on this trip. And there's 7 of us. So the ultimate goal here, we thought, is on an 8-day trip, we should be able to raise close to $5,000. So we'll see how the trip goes.
They're hungry! 2 for 2? Yeah, 2 for 2.
You know, being outdoorsman, conservation's a big thing that sometimes we kind of overlook. We get out on these rivers every day, use and abuse, you know, these waters, and you know, it's just important to give back at the end of the day. You know, fly fishing's become such a big sport, and in some ways, you know, some days you feel like it's kind of a fad, but we got to stay true to, you know, our dads and our grandpas, you know, took us out fishing when we were little, and the things they used to have you do, and you know, picking up your line and trash as you walk along the river, throwing some trash in your net, things that we can do on our side to help, you know, clean these rivers and make them look the best we can and make them look better than they did before we got there. Helping out Wyoming Trout Unlimited and giving them donations here, I think is going to be awesome as far as kind of bringing awareness to, you know, we should all be doing that.
Trout Unlimited in Utah is on our home waters, working a current project improving cutthroat restoration. And over the last 5 years, we're catching cutthroat higher and higher and higher every year. So it's really neat to see their hard work paying off. Obviously, without the work of Trout Unlimited, it makes projects like this less enjoyable. If you're going out and, you know, fishing's tough, or you know, you don't see the efforts of Trout Unlimited, it can, you know, kind of ruin the vibe of these trips.
You know, a lot of people that you meet in this industry, you make friends, and not only friends on the river, but lifelong friends. And I feel like a lot of these guys that are out here and, you know, hunting and fishing, and especially in, you know, Wyoming and Colorado and Utah and all the awesome places that we have in the Midwest, you know, it's nice to have people that want to come out with you and get together. And we don't always have the time every day to get out here and fish like we want to, of course, but you know, it's nice when we have a time to set aside, and you know, there's nothing else to focus on other than just the pursuit and having a great time with your buddies.
With the advent of the social media platforms that are really gaining popularity in the fly fishing community, there's been a stigma today about blowing up spots. You know, you'll see it probably in your own home waters where you fish and fish, you catch big fish, and you see more and more pictures about it, and all of a sudden, the more you go, the more people you see, and then the fishing's not as good. You gotta find a new spot. But the only way that happens is if you don't give more than you take. And so that's what this trip is about. You know, the Fish to Give trip, I'm super excited to be part of the first one. You know, we've all done a lot of work to get sponsors, and so every fish we catch is a certain dollar amount going to Wyoming Trout Unlimited. It's a very different feeling. Being able to share two things, you know, fly fishing, something that we all love, and then charity at the same time. It's something that I've never experienced, and I know that everybody on this trip is really excited about doing this in the future.
Nice one. Get him up, baby. Yeah.
This Fish to Give concept is brilliant, especially in the times of social media and a time when it's kind of scary with the future of our planet as a whole. Just becoming a father in the last couple years, I really don't know what's going to exist when my child is my age and in his 30s or 40s. I don't know if he's gonna have a planet to, you know, raise offspring or raise his own kids.
I know the majority of the people watching this are probably involved in their local chapters of Trout Unlimited, but most guys get out to, you know, have that exotic trip once or twice a year. How many people are going to those local Trout Unlimited and, you know, asking if they need help or what they can do to help out?
He's coming. He's gonna take it. He's big. Beautiful, look at those colors.
So because we're fishing in Wyoming and we're using all those rivers, we were looking for an organization that we could raise money for, and we picked Wyoming Trout Unlimited. They do so much conservation work on all the rivers that we're fishing. that we thought it was really important to raise money for them and to continue this again next year, where we can, do it as our team together and go to a different state and raise money for another conservation company, or even start a trend nationally where we can get a bunch of groups of different people starting this Fish2Give movement. I think it's super important, and it makes you feel good about where you're fishing and what you're giving back. So it's a pretty cool thing.